Back in 2017, Disney had the opportunity to purchase Twitter. They chose not to, and instead they invested money into BAMTech. BAMTech is a streaming service that ended up being what powered ESPN Plus. They then took that and they wanted to make Disney Plus, which is what they released back in November of 2019. And the service is pretty damn fantastic. I watch it all the time. Lots of great content on here. I love all the Star Wars stuff, all the Marvel, all the Pixar, and my kids absolutely love it. I mean, I get to watch Gargoyles or Goofy Movie or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Good Dinosaur kind of sucks, but that's just not how Pixar is great. But still, a lot of good things come from Disney Plus, and it's what I've always said it was going to be. It was going to be the premier streaming service if you have families. And the cool thing about it too is so much of the content is in 4K. If you've got 4K UHD powered television, you get to watch a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, just look at this here. Look at the amount of movies that are in 4K. 10 Things I Hate About You, A Bug's Life, A Wrinkle in Time, Aladdin, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, just scroll all the way down. There's a lot of movies here that are in 4K. I mean, so much stuff here that's in 4K. Even Roger Rabbit right there in 4K. And you know what? I just watched it again the other day, and I absolutely love how it looks. It looks fantastic. The movie holds up. It's a 30-year-old film, but I love it to hell and back, right? Even though Kathleen Kennedy produced it, and apparently that means I shouldn't like it according to some people, but still, I love the damn movie. Except I'm not a big fan of the data consumption. And this is something that I never really thought about before Disney Plus because I've never had a reason to worry about it. And as a result of that, I might actually be canceling Disney Plus until they allow me the option of changing my playback resolution. Netflix does it, Disney Plus does not. And that is something that might cost me a fortune because I have kids. Now, this is what you need to know when it comes to data per minute usage, an hour of 4K streaming. Really here, it's per minute about 233 megabytes, per hour, roughly 14 gigabytes. 14 gigabytes of data usage an hour. So how much is that going to be for an hour and a half long Pixar film? Right? Well over 20 gigabytes an hour. And that's on top of streaming through YouTube and uploading content and doing live streams and whatever else both my girlfriend and I watch. We watch a lot of YouTube and everything else on our home devices. And I do lots of live streams and the internet is my job. And so again, I've never really had a reason to think about it. I've never really had a reason to care. And even this email that came in a few hours ago from Xfinity saying you've used 90% of your data plan this month. You've used 90% of your terabyte of gigabyte monthly data plan. As a courtesy, we give you 2 complimentary months. And then after that, you'll be charged $10 for each of the 50 gigabytes of data added. So think about that. That's roughly $10 for 2 Disney movies in HD is what it will cost me if I go over that limit. Now, today is the 22nd of January. We have another 9 days until the cycle resets. And basically at this point, I'm like, Disney Plus is off the table. Netflix is down to like the standard quality. I mean, it's getting into slim pickings territory when it comes to data consumption, especially when you have a family. Now, this might seem like a first world problem, and it absolutely fundamentally is a first world problem. But the reason why this is a big issue for me is through Comcast, which is the only option I have where I live for high speed internet. I spend $140 a month for high speed internet, right? Because my job is the internet. So I have to pay for that kind of service. And so Disney Plus is something that is going to be it's going to ultimately end up costing me way more than it's worth. That cheap $7 a month is a fantastic price point, and it's a great way to keep you invested. But when you've got a family and you're watching content a lot because the kids like it, it's going to end up really racking up that data usage. And this is a big problem. Now, I'm not saying to people you should cancel. I'm not saying to people that you shouldn't do Disney Plus if you don't want to. All I'm saying is in my current situation, it may be the best for me in order to go and just cancel it for right now, or at least get through the next month so I can watch this Clone Wars season 7, finish that up. And then after that, there's really not much Disney's got coming until the end of the year. So after that, I could probably easily cancel my subscription. And this is a problem This is a big problem because, for one, I feel bad because my kids love watching the stuff. We pay for access to it. We have no problem paying for access to it. But because of how Disney woefully underprepared for the type of content that you would be able to stream in regards to data usage and playback resolution, and the inability to change any of that unless you're on a mobile device, just is, I don't want to use the term unfair, but it's unfair. It's also poor planning. It's also poor management. And that gets under my skin because this is something that on the mobile, you can not only can you change your playback resolution to help with your data plans, you can then download the movies to watch on your home device or on your phone. And that way you don't use any data from streaming. If you're in a place where you can't get data, you can download the movies and keep them on your phone. Well, why don't I have that option for television? And I understand piracy is a big concern, so on and so forth. I get all those concerns. But at the end of the day, I am going to have to then be a canceller of the service in order to make sure that I don't get run out of house and home because of how much it costs. Now, people out there are going to say, obviously, why don't you just like reserve how much you use it? Why don't you slow down on how much you watch? And those are valid discussions. And I've had those discussions. My complaint is not about necessarily slowing it down. My complaint is about not having the option to go in and change the resolution. Not everything has to be 4K UHD. Don't get me wrong. There's times I want to watch it. There's times I want to watch, a Toy Story movie or a Pixar film or something that's Star Wars in 4K. It looks fantastic. But there's other times where I just want to watch it and I don't really care. I could go to 720p. I could go to 1080p. I grew up watching Star Wars on VHS, for Christ's sake. Like, none of that matters to me. If I just want to go and enjoy it, I can enjoy it in a multitude of different fashions. But not giving me the option to actually go and do it myself, I just feel is really, really, really poor planning on their part. And this is going to be something that a lot of people notice as time goes on. Parents who have kids who watch Disney Plus all the time are going to get emails like this. They're going to get emails from the service provider that's going to say, hey, listen, you've reached the near cap of what you can stream this month or what your data usage this month. If not, this is what we're going to charge you. And they're going to go and say, oh, well, it's not really worth the cost, because people don't want to micromanage what they watch. They don't want to do that. Like, they like Netflix because they can watch whatever they want. Netflix allows you varying playback resolutions. So it's a little bit different, right? So you can control, and since so many more things these days are going streaming, that's going to be a big problem. Now, outside of the United States, I don't think this is a real big issue from what I've been told. A lot of people out there don't have to worry about this because of how the internet works outside of the US, which is, I guess, fundamentally a lot better. But then again, Disney Plus isn't available overseas just yet in a lot of places. So it's apples and oranges. But in the States here, especially with the way that our telecom companies have lobbied the federal government in order to be able to carve out these sections, it just becomes a very big issue. It's an American first world problem issue, but it's an issue nonetheless. It's frustrating because I like Disney Plus. I don't want to get rid of it. I see myself having it for a long time. I like the content they're going to be coming out with, but it may be one of those services that I only invest the money in when there's something out there that I want to see. But the problem with it is that my kids love this content. They want to watch this content. They want to enjoy this content, and I'm depriving them. It's completely antithetical to Disney's business model here. If they don't find a way to work within these particular restrictions that telecom companies apply. I mean, $140 a month is and that's like what I have to spend. That's my package. That's what I have. Frustrating. Anyway, just wanted to voice my concerns on that one. If you guys are in a similar boat, I'd be interested to see if this is just a me thing. Maybe we just watch way too much Disney Plus in my household. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts below. I want to hear them. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.